and solder in, splice in a new line, put a new flare, get this all sealed up, and get some fresh refrigerant in it. But once again, you know, like I said, when you see like dirt build up all around the line, it's just an indication the refrigerant came out and the oil came out with it, and the dirt builds up on it. So upon further inspection, I came out here, and it's really hard to tell. I'll know more when I get it off. But there's a split. It feels like there's a split on the line on the top and the bottom, which is concerning. Not a good indication. So hopefully I can cut back far enough, splice a good section in, and replace all this. So put the gauges on this morning, and there's zero pressure in the system. So it's pretty much just all leaked out, which kind of confirms to me that more than likely that copper line is split. So let's look at this here. Oh yeah, it's definitely split on both sides. Probably can't see that, but so the split on that side and the split on this other side here. So not really sure what the defect is there. I don't know if it's when they made the flare. What you doing? I don't need your help. Thank you, but I don't need your help. Yeah, I know. Go on, go. No. Alright, so what I just did, the other end of where I clipped, I went ahead and took some sandpaper, cleaned it so I can get it ready for a splice. So you clean it up, put the splice on. Now we're going to cut our new piece to go in here and put a flare on it. Gotta do that copper. Oh, here it is. A little nylog on the inside, just so that when you put a flare on copper, you want to have a little lubrication in there when it's starting to push the copper through.
Month 212 said there's no way I'd be touching this shit. I'd start off with AC that's not optimal, and then with having no AC and no access to ever have AC again.
When there's our new flare, okay, compared to the old one, it's a little bit bigger. So see if this here is going to fit on. Yep. Perfect. Okay.
Month 212 said thankfully my girlfriend does not say that.
All right, now let me just clean this one off again. All right, I gotta go get my torch. So here's what we're gonna do. Here's the new piece, my solder splice joint. I'm going to splice that in. So I'm going to go get my torch, some solder. We're going to put this all in, and we should be good to go. So let me go get some fire.
212 said anyway, it was a small penis joke if you're...
like anytime you're soldering, you never put your solder at the point of heat contact. When temperatures get to the right temperature, solder flows to the heat source. So same thing when you're soldering wires. You know, if you're let's say if you're soldering a wire, let's just pretend this is a wire, you want solder on the end here, you put your heat source like concentrating right here so that the whole wire heats up, and then you start flowing your solder in at the tip and it'll start flowing towards the heat source. So that's kind of the idea here. All right. Now, normally you would use a torque wrench for that. I do have a torque wrench. I'm a little lazy. I don't want to go get it. I think this particular nut size calls for about 40 foot-pounds. I'm not too worried about it. I've been mechanicking for over 30 years of my life. I've got a good feel for like what is 20 foot-pounds, what is 15 foot-pounds, what is 50 foot-pounds. So I'm good with that right now. So yeah, y'all, so just a little education moment. Granted, you're working on one of these units, you only need the low side blue line, but when you hook up to automotive, you hook up the red line, the high side, and the blue to the low side. And this ends up, the yellow line is essentially your service line for pulling a vacuum, pressurizing with nitrogen, charging with refrigerant. And so I completely jacked it up and had it backwards from the start. So my bad, everyone. All right, here we go. Let's turn this off. So we're down to about roughly a little over 25 inches of vacuum. So now we're just gonna sit here for like another 15 minutes and hope that this holds. Okay. So again, if you're just joining, we just put a vacuum on the system. I don't have the means to properly pressure check the system, my repair. So we're just gonna have to go by means of a vacuum and hope that everything is holding. It's not the ideal way to check for a leak because you really want to get this system pumped up to about 300 psi of pressure, which is what the refrigerant's going to do, and test it under pressure. All right, so we're gonna get this connected. All right, so as soon as we disconnect that means a little bit of air is going to go in here. So we're gonna end up bleeding it just a little bit here, and then
Mitri Capri iron offset duct tape and umbrella to the tripod for the camera.
Then I'm gonna crack it just a little bit here to kind of bleed it, just to make sure that I'm putting all refrigerant into this thing here. Okay. All right. Yeah, that vacuum is good. Let's go ahead and call it. We're gonna go ahead and disconnect this.
Shai said. Did you say you want it to go down to 8 pounds? It's a 5-pound bottle. Am I losing my mind again?
Well, yeah, it's a 5-pound bottle, but with the box and everything, it's actually coming out to like 10 pounds total weight. So the refrigerant inside the bottle is 5 pounds. Then you have the weight of the bottle. Then you have the weight of the cardboard box. So I'm looking at the total. Does that make sense? Down to 914.5, so we need to get another pound in there. It's sucking it down pretty good. It's just taking it in slow.
Said if it freezes, then you get ice cubes inside the house.
Yeah, well, like I said, it won't freeze. Because if it does freeze, then essentially you get no cooling. You get no more heat transfer going through the system. So it just quits cooling. So I'm gonna move the camera into the gym. So unfortunately, you all will be in there where the boring part is, where instead of me out here working. So I'm pretty much done with this job. I just need to get this last 5 ounces in the system. So I'm gonna move the camera to the gym. It's getting freaking hot out there, y'all. I think I'm finishing up this job just in time. I mean, it is blowing really nice and cold in here. This thing is definitely working now. So I would say we are fixed. Yeah, temperature's blowing out really nice and cold.
Marmonk 212 said congrats on being a fixie man.
I am practically a fixie man. Holy shit. I do gotta sit down and take a break because I am literally in the freaking sun out there right now, and I probably got like 2 ounces left to push through.
212 said basically a fixing expert. Yeah. Dmitry Kupryanov said K time to get some fresh air, catch you on the next one.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna shut down here.